Sweet guys, welcome back to another Build with Nova. Um, First thing we're going to touch on within today's Build with Nova is really focusing in on our new live stream app. So we're going to do a little deep dive into this afterwards, but really showing you guys that we're going to be compatible with not only DJI, but Skydio, Autel, as well as working with various drones that we can use on our tablet, iPhones, and Android devices. So we'll touch on that in a bit. What is Build with Nova? It's really just a chance for us to communicate with you guys and take all of the all the things you guys are seeing within the field and redesign our roadmap to make sure you guys are getting what you want as quickly as possible. So yeah, it's mainly just to communicate and see everything from your point of view, so we can start achieving all those goals. For any newcomers, we host our Build with Nova at the last Tuesday of every month, usually about 40 to 60 minutes, just touching on the new things that are coming out, new features, and obviously touching in on the roadmap as well for Nova and what we're working on. So leading the discussion today, probably you guys are probably going to see two unfamiliar faces right now. Unfortunately, Rob, our CEO, and Dan, our director of business, decided to take a flight out to Newfoundland, and now they're on their way to Maine, and they have been caught in that terrible snowstorm that everyone's probably hearing about. So unfortunately, they're caught in transit right now. They are going to be in the chat. So if you guys wanted to reach out or just say hi to either of them, they are watching this right now, but yeah, they are not going to be with us. But with that being said, I'm Jacob Mandel. I'm the customer success manager with Nova, and standing next to me is Jarren Morris, our full stack lead developer. And
not the lead developer, but I am leading the live stream screen sharing app, which I'm happy to showcase shortly here.
That's a good start. Sweet guys. Okay, so that's us. Okay, let's go. So what we're going to be talking about today, like I just mentioned, the prototype for our new live stream app. And then after that, I'm going to be taking you guys through a little walkthrough with our layers panel, and then a real deep dive into Colorfinder and just maximizing that workflow. If you guys have any questions as we're going through this, leave it in the chat. Leave it in the chat. We'll try to answer all your questions as we go through this. But with that being said, so we'll touch on our whole live stream pivot is thanks to you guys. Like I had mentioned, we have our roadmap, but we've been noticing that people are constantly using our live stream. So really maximizing our capabilities with various drones, tablets, phones, all that jazz in one has really pivoted our roadmap, so we can make sure you guys get the absolute most out of Nova. So yeah, that's mainly it. So what the team is currently working on. If you guys attended our last Build with Nova, you might have heard about the pilot and fleet tracking. So currently working on that. I'll touch on this at the very end as well, but mainly, the idea behind this is we can start to track, all the flight data, hours, everything that your pilots are doing, which will be also hosted in Nova. So you can see who's working on what project and what's going on. So the goal with that is to be released by March 31st, real-time ortho mosaic and hotspots. This is something that I think is beyond the coolest thing I've ever witnessed. But yeah, so what it is when we're going out and capturing data, if you have if you have Nova's on controller app and you're connected to Wi-Fi, from the time we take a photo to the time that it's placed within Nova, there should be about a 4-second delay, so we can start processing that ortho mosaic or infrared ortho mosaic by the time you land. So it's going to cut down on processing and really give you guys the data that you need. The goal is to be almost instantaneously, but yeah, super cool stuff. Shout out to the devs for working on that, doing a great job. And then lastly, obviously, which I've touched on probably 3 times now, is the new live stream app. Just being able to fly with multiple drones and really showcasing absolutely everything that Nova can do with with various different types of drones. So let's dive right into it here, Jarren. Let me just move my screen. So Jarren's going to be going over the live stream app.
Yeah, so for most of you guys, I guess you know that we supported live streaming for DJI Enterprise drones about 9-10 months ago. And while that's been a great and successful feature, it's only for DJI Enterprise drones. So as Jacob said, one of the biggest feature requests from you guys is just being able to support live streaming from a variety of different drone brands and series within those. Some non-enterprise, some that are where you can view your drone camera from a mobile device or a tablet. So we came up with a solution, which is the live stream screen share app for mobile. So this is going to be available for download by an APK file, download on the App Store and on the Google Play Store. So without further ado, let's dive into the prototype. So when we open up the app, first thing we see here is a big plus button, and this does one thing and one thing only, and that is to start your live stream. So within this screen, we have a few simple options. First one being to choose a project. So these are all optional. If we want, we can pick a project that exists in the workspace. Otherwise, it'll make a new project at our workspace root. From here, we have an option to see our active projects. This is projects that have anyone in your workspace that's currently working in them. Below that, there will be recent projects and also the ability to just navigate anywhere else in your workspace. So if we pick this active project, we can see it populates here. Next option is the ability to share with people. So from here, we can see our contact lists in the workspace, as well as the workspace members. With that, we can click confirm. And all of those people within the contact list and your members, whether email or phone number, everyone will be notified with a link to view this live stream from Nova. From here, we can go ahead and hit start. Now, this is a prototype, so we're missing a step here, very, very critical. After you click start, you'll get a prompt to start the screen share from your actual device. That initiates the full connection, and now you're live into Nova. Problem is that you're screen sharing the app itself and not your drone. So what you're going to need to do is navigate back to your Drone Pilot app, where you can see your camera view, and everyone in Nova is going to see exactly what you're seeing. So the overlays, you navigating, it's just a full raw screen share. And with that, there is unfortunately no telemetry data, but we will be supporting Skydio soon for that. When you're done your live stream, you can navigate back to the app here, and you'll see how the duration of the live stream, as well as a couple options. The main one being to end the stream. So with hitting that, the stream is over, and we have two options from here. One of them being go back to home, which just takes us back to where that plus button was, and we can start from scratch again if we want. Otherwise, leave the app. The second option is to start another stream. And so what this is going to do is kick us back to this past screen, but with the project and our share list already populated. With this, we can start another stream, and it'll end up into the same project and send a link to the same people. Yeah, that's the screen share app. We are going to be doing a private beta shortly here, probably next week, for drone controllers with a .apk file available for download. So we're going to kindly invite you guys in the audience, anyone that's interested and with an Android-based drone controller, to drop your name and email, and we'll reach out to you after the Build with Nova session here and get you set up with that.
Sweet. Is there a way to share with someone who is not in your contact on the scene or on the scene of the incident?
If by that you mean someone who's not already in your list of contacts, we are planning to add a way to just add new people right from the screen share app. So right now it's just showing the people that you've already added from the Nova web app, but you should be able to add in a new phone number or an email address.
Sweet, guys. We have any other questions in regards to the new live stream app? If you guys have any, please drop it right at the bottom there. If not, like we had said before, put in your name, department, and then we can start sending out our beta version for you guys just to make sure everything's smooth sailing by the time we go into production. Sweet. Perfect. Awesome, guys. Yeah, keep dropping your names in there. Heck yeah, live stream sounds cool. Awesome, guys. Sweet. Okay. Okay.
Sweet. Got a lot of interest so far.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect. Sweet. With that to mention, with our live stream app, you can also scan the QR code. So, as long as one person has that QR code, anybody else who's close by can just scan it, and that live stream will populate on your device instantaneously. Awesome, guys. Yeah, we'll just wait for everybody else. Whoever wants their email and contact put in, we'll just give everyone a couple more seconds to get all that in. But yeah, it's great to see you guys. Honestly, I'm really happy. Perfect. Great, Cole. Heck yeah. Perfect, guys.
Awesome.
Sweet. Okay, I'm just gonna. Do you have any other questions?
Richard says, did you find a fix for the live stream issue he talked about last week? I am not familiar with this issue. But do you? Do you know?
Yes, I believe so. That was the
hello.
Jarren.
Rob's got it.
Hello? Oh, sorry. I just heard somebody say hello. Guys, if you don't want to speak within the chat as well, feel free to unmute yourself and you can ask questions vocally as well. Perfectly fine. But perfect. Awesome. Sweet. Okay, good. I think that everybody has dropped their contact and their department. Wait 1 sec. Are the live streams? Okay, perfect. Awesome. Sweet. Yeah, huge shout out to Rob and Dan. They're also in the chat responding here. So
doing their best without actually hosting.
Yeah, exactly. Thanks, guys. We really appreciate that too. Sweet. Okay, so up next, we're now going to go into the layers panel deep dive. And what we're going to touch on is grouping layers, archiving, the assets tab, the new collapsible window, and the search by creator tab. After that, you guys have probably seen this slide before, but here we go. 1 second. We'll go into the Colorfinder workflow where I'm more or less going to showcase everything within it and yeah, how to properly work through your projects. So with that being said, what I will do is I'm actually going to share my screen here. Let's see this. Sweet. So now everybody should be seeing my project within Nova. So guys, let's touch on the layers panel. You can see on the left-hand side here, we have a bunch of stuff, it's everything starting to add up here. So by holding Command, you can see that I can start to select various things all at once. And by right-clicking, I can create a new group. So you can see right here, it's hosted in this group layer 1. I can also select more. So I'll just select on these 3 and create a group inside of a group. Let's see here. There we go. So you can create groups within groups. If you ever want to change the name of it, right click, same thing, change the name, and you can more or less start to break this down between, your ortho mosaics, all your icons, or however much you want to break that down, you can do that. You can also create, a third group inside of a group if need be. Same exact process. Select on your various items and click group. If you ever want to ungroup something, same process again. Right click, select on ungroup, and they will pop back up in your layers panel, just removed from that group. So that's mainly that. This is the sliding of the layers panel. So with bigger naming conventions, we want more space. So just by selecting on this tab right here, you can see how that can be retracted and expanded like so. To the right of this, to the right of our layers panel, we have assets. So by selecting on assets, you can see that Nova has broken down all of the features that you've imported your data to, and it's associated with the thumbnail, so you know which data set you're actually looking at, and all the information that would be hosted within that data set. So obviously the size of it, data was created, naming convention, stuff like that. When it comes to Colorfinder, you'll actually be able to see your flight path instead of just a photo of a frame. You'll be able to see exactly what flight path and fire perimeter, pretty straightforward. You can see your entire fire perimeter within the assets tab. To the right of that, we haven't done too much with the PDFs, but for any newcomers or anything, this is where all your PDFs are going to be created and hosted. And yeah, pretty straightforward with our PDFs. Another thing we've added here is a search button on the right-hand side. So once it's selected, we can start to type in various things. So I'm just going to put in hot, and you can see that our hotspot layer has just appeared, right? So once our layers panel just starts getting bombarded with all of our layers, it's really quick and easy to, if you know the layer name, to just type it in and have it populate instantaneously. So that's the way that would be done. Another thing that we can do is go into the filters tab right to the right of our search bar. And this is where you can start to classify everything within all the features and data that you process. So if I wanted to see all the ortho mosaics, I can click on them. Layers panel will only show me orthos. You can do this with absolutely every feature within Nova, all the way down to points, lines, text, ruler, and PDFs, whatever you may want. Below this, you're going to see the creator tab. So, I mean, I'm the only person in this project. Unfortunately, I should have maybe added someone else. But once you have more people within a project and they start processing data as well, you can start to break down the layers panel by who created what. Just to see, what your guys are doing within the field and what data they're actually processing. So that's mainly everything within the layers tab. Once everything is selected, all you'd have to do is select on apply, and everything will populate in the layers tab. The last thing I'm going to touch on within our layers tab is the archive button. So by right clicking, you can see this drop down and it says archive right here. By selecting on it, it's going to prompt you, do you want to archive this layer? Absolutely, I do. So now, once that layer is archived, in the bottom left-hand corner, you're going to see this one archive layer. Well, depending on how many layers are archived, the archive layer will be in the bottom left-hand corner. When I select it, you'll be prompted with the retrieved archive page where you can either select on, all the features that are within there or individual features like so. Once I click on retrieve this layer, you'll see that it populates back within Nova's layers panel, and you can really see, you can start to break down your whole layers panel quick and easy, just like so. So that is mainly everything within the layers panel. Do you think I'm missing anything here?
No, I think you covered it all.
Heck yeah, that's what I like to hear. Okay, guys, sweet. So yeah, that's layers panel. You guys have any questions at all about the functionality of the new layers panel? If so, drop it in. Like I said, unmute your mic, quick ask of a question. But yeah, seems like we're all good. Thumbs up, guys. Heck yeah. Sweet. Okay, now we're going to jump into Colorfinder. So once we select on Colorfinder, we can view our Colorfinder data. Now, what I'm going to be going over is here. I'll leave these in for now just to show you guys. So first thing we'll do when we hop in.
I do have a question.
Oh, sorry.
Can you share one group with certain people and a different group with different people? If you're referring to the layers panel, not right now. Anyone that has project access sees everything in the project. We have viewers, editors, and admins, which have various roles and permissions of what they can do. But if you're in the project, you're in the project.
Totally. Actually, I should have touched on maybe locking as well. You can lock a layer within a layers panel in case you didn't want somebody to, potentially delete it or anything like that. You can select on the lock icon and that will lock that layer in place. Perfect. Okay. Anything else, guys? Perfect. Think we're good? Sweet. Okay. So I'm actually going to go into here. Just going to delete this for now. Perfect. Sweet. So once we enter into our project, first thing we're going to want to look at is this color graph right at the bottom here. So Nova's going to go through your Colorfinder data. It's going to tell you frame by frame exactly what color it's picked up, what's going on within that. So, if I was to click to here, obviously there's going to be something within the project. I got to move my screen, guys. Sorry about this. Got me and Jarren's face right in the way here.
It's not actually in it. So.
Oh, okay. Yeah. On their screen. Lucky. Okay, so once we enter in, we can then start to identify all these various colors that Nova has picked up. So right here, obviously it's picked up something. We can then click to that frame. If we don't see it instantaneously, what we can then do is go back up to our color wheel in the top left-hand corner. And before I touch on actually selecting pixels, I wanted to tell you guys that we've added this new button. Once selected, you can actually choose a file or a photo, sorry. And once we open this up, you can choose a color within this. This is my other work colleague. You guys might know him, Nicholas Shuck. Yeah, shout out to Nick. Thanks for taking this photo. But once I select on a pixel, you can.
You didn't hold him at gunpoint for that, right?
No, I mean, it looks like I did. You can adjust the hue, saturation, and brightness to expand in that pixel range. But yeah, so once we import a photo, you can just select on that and you can start to dial it down like so. Once that's done, we'll select on search, and you can see that Nova has taken all of those pixels that it's highlighted and placed it onto the map. So if I ever want to, doesn't seem like, I mean, that's a lot of pixels it's picked up. So what I want to do from here is actually reset. We can do that by selecting on this little button right here. And then I'll actually show you this. So as I press play, you can see the color wheel start to do these kicks. So it's going frame by frame, showing you all the the pixels it's picking up. Once we're notified that something has been picked up, we can press pause right here. And now we can actually select on these individual pixels. What you're going to see is Nova is going to create a bounding box around the pixels that it's popped up, and it's going to populate it on your various views. So top layer right here, I'm just going to zoom in like so, and you can see that these are the pixels that it has picked up. Within our anomalies tab, actually, I should say this before I move forward with anything. So at the top, that is our color data, and below this is I'm just going to reset this. Below this, we have our anomaly filter. So we have our color graph right here, and then you'll notice right below this is our anomaly line. What the anomaly line does is based on the pixels, all the pixels and colors that it's picked up, it will notify you that there is something within there that is anomalous. So obviously like these green pixels, for example, or sorry, green, my bad. Orange pixels are anomalous based on all the surrounding pixels. So this is how you can really start to break down the anomalous items within your flight. This is so this line is correlated with this bottom box right here. It's also correlated with our anomaly filters button right here. If I was to disable that, you can see how that disappears. And then if we adjust the opacity, so if I was to zoom in, just give me a sec here, guys. I'm just going to zoom in on these pixels here. I can do the same thing here. And just to get a more clear view, I can dial down my opacity and see exactly what Nova is picking up here. So that is that. The sensitivity can also be adjusted. If I dial this back, now everything is less anomalous. Things will stand out a lot more versus when it's completely turned up like that. So we usually preset it. What is it? About 70, 75?
70, yeah.
70. So yeah, that's a little deep dive on our anomaly filter. But okay, let's get into the actual fun stuff here. Okay, so we've identified something within the forest here, right? Once identified, like I said, we can adjust the opacity. Okay, yeah, that actually turned out to be something. So first thing we'll do is select on the point icon at the very top here, and now we can select on either map. So I'll just do our anomaly filter. You're going to notice that on the bottom left-hand side here within our map view, that a point has been placed based off of where we've selected it on the map. You'll also see, sorry guys, I got to keep moving my screen back and forth. You're also going to see on the right-hand side that the point has been placed with a coordinate list right below it. Once selected, you're going to be prompted with this copy coordinate. That coordinate is now copied, and this is where we can send that out to field crews on the ground. While we're here, I'm gonna touch on the commenting section. So I'm just gonna put in orange clue, and below your text field, you're gonna have this various. This is where you can alter your icon. So right now, it's always gonna be preset to comment, but I'm gonna change this one to investigate. Once that's done, I'll post it within the thread here. And now you can see that that has been populated. So fuel crews are going to come in. They're going to, let's say we're somewhere over here. They can see, oh, wow, they picked up something. We have to go investigate it. They can then copy the coordinate, fly out there, see exactly what's going on. Once they've investigated something, by going over the comment tab, you're going to see this little arrow pop up. When we select on it, this is where various individuals can go in and start to talk about what they're seeing. So someone on the ground right now, let's say they checked it out. I'm just going to put all clear. Oh. Perfect. All clear. And now we can change that icon to cleared. And you can see, let's say this was someone else. Obviously, it's going to populate as myself. But let's say that's somebody on the ground. We can see and communicate that that has been checked off. You can also see that the icon has now been changed so that as we progress and we start marking up our different points and stuff, we can reflect back on and see what we've achieved as we work through our workflow like that. I've also added these comments as well. So I'm just going to reset. Actually, I'll leave this a second, guys. Sorry. I'm just going to reset this real quick. So the reason that I've left these other comments in here as well is because for smaller data sets, you might not need this as much. But let's say, you know, our flight time is close to 40 something odd minutes. When we import this data, that's going to be a lot of data for one person to go through. But with Nova's capability of allowing multiple users to go into a project, they will be able to all start dissecting this footage by segments. So just by putting in, you know, I put in Tim start here. So when Tim comes into the project, he can select on this, and he now knows that he's going to be working on this Colorfinder data from here until the next checkpoint. Once that's selected, you can see that Dan is prompted to work on this Colorfinder section right here. And last but not least, we have Jacob, myself. So I'm going to be working on this as our pilots are going out, flying, and validating those coordinates that we've picked up. So that is more or less everything within the comment section. I will touch on this as well. If you ever wanted to edit or delete anything within a comment, you can just go into that comment thread, select on edit, and you can see here I have orange clue. Let's say it was a jacket. So once we found out, I can change that to jacket. It's going to then be posted, and you can edit it like that. If I wanted to delete it, exact same thing, click the drop down and select on delete. Okay, so now within activity, we can filter by points and comments. So if I was to disable all 4 of our comments, you can see that only the points are going to populate. So this would be really valuable for the guys on the ground and identifying which coordinates they're going to be using to determine what's out in the field or not. So just by turning those on and off, more or less for ease of use, just like so. If we wanted to start breaking down the overall look of Colorfinder, you're going to notice that we have these little double arrows. So once selected, you can see that that's now hidden. Same with our color wheel, same with our timeline. Now this is all zoomed in. If I ever wanted to go back, hit reset zoom, and now we have that full-blown view of Colorfinder. That is mainly everything in regards to the color graph, anomaly filter, our map, placing icons, copying coordinates, and the comment section. For various views, what we can do is select on this. So now you can see that we have that full map view of our drone's flight path, all that jazz. And while we're actually on this view, I'm going to jump into the settings tab. So if I was to zoom in right here, if I was to select on settings, if we wanted to disable this crosshair, we can just select on that. Same with the field of view. When deselected, you can see that bounding box of what we're actually looking at is disabled. And last but not least, we have the opportunity to disable our flight path as well, just like so. A couple other small features here. If you ever want to change your background, you can simply do it by selecting default, satellite, or white, whatever. This is all based off of personal preference. While we're on this tab, I'm going to touch on source as well. So every time we upload data, Nova, the source is based off the resolution. When you process within Nova or open up your Colorfinder, it's always going to default to high. But let's say, you know, it's long, you have like a 45-minute flight time and your connection is just like in and out, it's dropping constantly. You can actually change the resolution of your video itself by selecting on medium or low if need be, just like so. The last view we'll touch on real quick here is a full screen view. And yeah, pretty self-explanatory. You can see that full view as to what's going on with a bigger view of your drone map. If you ever want to see your timeline, like I had mentioned before, select on those arrows right there, and you can see that color graph. Within this, if you want to go frame by frame, you can select on these two. Obviously, play, pause, and speeding up your button. That is pretty much it within Colorfinder. I mean, there is a couple small features within the map view. If you guys aren't familiar with this, if you're lost on your map, you want to go back to your drone, select on this button right here. It's going to hover you right over top of where your drone actually is. And this button will take you right directly over top of your drone as well, just like so. So that is that. Yeah. You think I missed anything?
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Yeah. Oh, actually, the other thing too, guys, this is another thing that we have added. It's the ability to zoom in and out on our color graph as well. And reason behind that, I know I keep saying it, but 45 minutes of flight time can sometimes, start to eat up it'll be hard to dissect based off of that one view. So having the opportunity to zoom in and out within our color graph will significantly help what you're looking for and what's going on within that flight data that you've processed. But yeah,
the technical complexity behind that is insane, by the way.
Shout out to Zach.
Shout out to Zach, one of our developers. He was the lead behind Colorfinder V2. The timeline, I hope you guys really appreciate it because that is a work of art under the hood.
Heck yeah. Everyone give a clap to Zach. Let's go, Zach. Good job. Great job. Sweet, guys. So that is the end of Colorfinder version 2. If you guys have any issues at all, give me a call, reach out to me. Or if you have any questions right now, feel free to leave it in the chat. Let's go. Yeah, we're getting some claps for Zach. Let's go. That's what I like to see, guys.
Sweet. Hey, Jarren, I had a question.
Yeah.
This is Cole in Oregon. Just wondering, as I keep trying this out, for any of our sensors that don't have laser rangefinders on them, what have you found is best practices as far as how oblique of an angle you're doing or where you're placing that point in your view frame to where it starts to maybe have too much discrepancy? And that's I understand there's probably not hard limits on that, but what do you guys recommend?
I believe the way that's being done right now is by checking 4 or 5 points within the frame. So we can estimate kind of where the 4 corners of the frame are going to be in conjunction with the terrain of the map. It is an approximation. So in areas where there's like more hills and it's not so flat, the point might not be super accurate. It's nothing really on your end as far as how you can make that better. That's totally on us. But for most data sets, it tends to be, I think, within a few meters. So it's not too far off. But yeah, if you have like a suddenly high terrain within the frame, it might not be super accurate.
Okay. Yeah. Thanks. Just basics of maybe taking your angle more towards nadir when you're dealing with hilly terrain and different topography.
For sure.
Okay. Appreciate it.
Yeah, of course.
Awesome. Sweet, guys. Okay, so if you guys can still see this, I actually do want to show you guys one other thing. You guys have probably already seen this before, but I do like to show people. I think it's a really interesting feature here. So if you hold down on your mouse and you hold down on right click, you can actually change it into a 3D view like so. You can zoom in and out with your mouse. If you're doing it off of your keyboard, you can hold control, my bad.
On Mac.
On Macs, you can hold control to give you that 3D perspective. But really what I'm trying to showcase right now is this 3D map terrain layer, right? So when selected, you can now see, if I zoom in, it just paints a much better picture as to what's going on within your project, within your incident based on the terrain that you're working in. So just showing you guys that, this is a new feature that was also showcased in our last build with Nova, but having the ability to do that kind of paints a different view. So yeah, that's mainly it. If you ever want to make these hex flat, also that's a little tool, but that's mainly everything from the layers panel to Colorfinder to a very brief overview between 3D layers and 2D layers. And yeah, if you guys have any questions about that? Nothing. Okay, so share this tab. Perfect. Sweet, guys. Okay, well, without any questions, we're going to keep motoring through our build with Nova. Okay. It's my bread and butter. So what we've done is, well, first of all, just ask Jake. Obviously, I'm Jake, customer success manager. If you guys have any issues whatsoever, from flying your drone to using Nova, absolutely anything, you guys should already know. Give me a call at any point in time, 12 in the afternoon, 3 a.m. in the morning. My phone's on 24/7, and we are going. I or Dan will be picking up instantly and fixing all these problems with the help of our Unreal developers. But what Just Ask Jake is mainly about is it's going to be a blog post every week where it's going to be a blog post every Monday morning showcasing very small features that I notice that clients are missing. So I really want you guys to maximize the amount of data that you're processing and just like ease of use within Nova. So our first one was urban mode versus general mode. We had touched on it, I don't know, maybe a month or so back, where we've changed some settings and stuff. Really short little spiel, as well as photos, so you guys can see exactly what's going on and the difference between both datas. The upload flow in and of itself, from orthomosaics to infrared images, or infrared orthomosaics for your hotspot layers, just showcasing, like a step-by-step walkthrough of how to properly do all that stuff. And like I said, these are going to be coming out every single week. Quick little read, tips and tricks on how you guys can work more efficiently, and Nova can produce better data for that. I'm also redoing our whole Learn Center, so we're going to come out with brand new videos, step-by-step walkthrough with photos, just so you guys, if let's say you didn't want to give me a call, you can go right to our Learn Center and you can see exactly how that feature or tip or trick works within Nova. So yeah, that'll be our Learn Center. What else do we have here? Oh yeah, how-tos. Yeah, I guess so. And then yeah, this Just Ask Jake is really based off of frequently asked questions and just common issues, guys. So being able to showcase that by a small little blurb, I think would be very beneficial. So yeah, Just Ask Jake. Give me a call. Reach out to me if you want to book a time too. I'll put in my calendar link. So yeah, any questions between anything, don't hesitate to reach out. I'm always here. Okay, what's up after this? Real-time orthomosaic and hotspots. I know I'd briefly gone over this, but the expected launch is going to be for the second week of February. It's available for all existing clients, until quarter two. If you guys want to test it out, try it, anything whatsoever, reach out to our help. Contact our AEs, reach out to me personally. We can get you up and running on this. But like I said, really being able to collect that data, get it into Nova, cut down on the processing time. So by the time you land your drone, that orthomosaic's already being processed and you can start focusing on various other objectives. This is going to be a game changer. I'm really, really happy with our devs. Like these guys, huge round of applause. Like they've been working tirelessly on this. So yeah, our next build with Nova, we're more or less going to be showcasing real-time hotspots and orthomosaics. But yeah, just as a brief overview, this is what we're currently working on after our live stream. Now we're going to jump into the Q1 2026 roadmap. So early Feb, multi-stream view in Nova projects, and live stream screen mirroring app, which Jarren is leading the charge on. Let's go.
I can attest to this coming out soon. Started on at the beginning of January and been working 80-hour weeks personally on it. I know we only showed prototypes today, but it's actually almost done. Working on the final touches and then some release logistics and obviously having you guys test it out. But we're on schedule to have it out in a few weeks here.
Heck yeah, love to hear it. Late Feb, like I just said, Hotspots and live Orthos. If you guys are interested, same thing. Leave your contact in the chat, your name, email, and then maybe just put in brackets, put in live HS, just so we know that that's another feature that you want to be jumping into. Are we able to do real time with autonomous flight? Yes. Yeah, absolutely. Perfect. Awesome. Any other questions, guys? Here. Okay, sweet. Actually, Jarren, you want to touch on Skydio live stream?
Yeah. So right now for DJI Enterprise, we have that we're working with the Cloud API, and soon we'll have an on-controller app. That's like a fully integrated, specifically made for DJI, that broadcasts telemetry data as well as the camera stream. And right now we are working on the same thing for Skydio. So that's scheduled to come out for late February, making good progress on it. And that's separate from the live stream screen share app that I'm doing. The difference being that the Skydio one is fully integrated with the Skydio drone controller and gives telemetry data, where the mobile app will not.
Sweet. Any questions? What was that?
Last month, it was recommended that live Orthos and Hotspots that you didn't use autonomous flight because it was waited until the end of the flight to upload photos.
We did a beta test with the automated. Cole, I'm going to reach back out to you in regards to that. I believe it's something that we have been working on to make sure it's fully compatible, but I'll follow up with you after this build with Nova and just touch in on that. Are all these features?
Okay, yeah, appreciate it. I mean, we do a lot of flights just setting the 2-second timer anyway. I just know that was mentioned during that live demo last month. So just curious, appreciate it.
Yeah, sweet. Thanks, man.
Another thing to mention here is for anyone that wants to sign up for the testing of the live stream screen share mobile app, also for the drone controller, or for the live hotspots and live Orthos beta, we will have an option for that in the survey at the end of the session.
Sweet. Thanks for the comment, Dave. Let's go. I'd like to see it. Let's go. It's going to be super cool. Okay, guys, to continue on with the Q1 2026 roadmap. So in March, we're going to be focusing in on new global navigation. So idea behind this is wherever your drones are, if you have live stream, what's going on, you're going to have this overall map view of, your county, state, whatever is going on. Everyone who's using Nova, you're going to have the ability to see which drone is flying and toggle on between, or choose whichever drone you want to see, what's going on, and really collecting all that data at once within the app. The
critical thing here being that it's not all within necessarily one project. It can be at the workspace level or within a folder or something along that nature. So without having to load into a full project, you can just see everything that's happening in real time.
Heck yeah. And then after that, we have our pilot and fleet tracking. So we know how important it is to obviously track logs, flight path, distance, time, all that jazz. We're working on this right now to integrate within Nova so that you can see, which pilot has flown what, how long they've flown for, the distance they've covered, and I guess more or less showcasing all of their flight paths as they fly. Anything else to touch on for flight?
Not from me.
No. Sweet, guys. Let's hop into the next one. Travel schedule. Okay, we got some big things coming up here. Okay. January right now, like I said before, Rob and Dan are obviously caught in that snowstorm. They're making their way to Maine. They've been driving all over the map. So yeah, hopefully those guys can stay warm for a bit. But yeah, they'll be in Maine at the Northeast Forest Fire Protection Compact. And after that, we have February. If you guys know Aubrey Adams, she's another one of our account executives. She's going to be in Alabama at the Alabama Fire Chiefs Mid-Winter Conference. Then we'll go to Oklahoma Guardians First Nation Public Safety Summit. Then Dan, absolute workhorse of a human being, is going to be bouncing around all over the map. And he, luckily enough, after this snowstorm is done, he's going to be flying out to Australia. And he's going to be in Canberra for the Australian Association of Uncrewed Systems. So shout out to Dan. He deserves it. They're obviously in summertime right now. Have fun out there, man. Virginia, me and Aubrey are going to be in Virginia at the Drone Responders. And then we have Nevada, IAFC, Wildland Urban Interface. I'm not positive who's going to that one yet, but if you guys wanted to know, just to meet face to face, we can definitely let you know as well. And then last but not least, we have Georgia EMA Summit. So that's our travel schedule over the next couple months here. But yeah, if you guys want to meet us, or whether that's go out to dinner, absolutely anything, stop by, do some teaching, whatever it may be, feel free to contact us directly, and we will definitely make time to see you guys. If not, you're going to the conference, let us know. It's always good to see everybody face to face, right? So that's it for the travel schedule. Now, that ends this month's Build with Nova. So if you guys have any questions, please leave it in the chat right now. We'll stay on for, however long you guys want to talk to us personally. We're obviously here, but yeah, we'll that concludes everything with today's Build with Nova.